Chapter 2. Smartphone, stupid person. Veronica Vega has a new boyfriend. Already. Chad Bumgartner. Brock's 16-year-old brother. 3 weeks in this town and it's like Veronica was born here. She has a happening social life, a boyfriend, and she's on the volleyball team, the pep squad, the yearbook staff. The whole high school might as well just shut down if she moves away. Which she probably will, and sooner rather than later, the way their dad keeps getting transferred. It's always that way. Veronica's a perfect fit wherever she goes, while her brother remains Whatshisface. She also has a phone that works. It's identical to Cooper's, another GX4000, with a serial number only one way from his, proving that they came off the same assembly line side by side. That's where the similarity ends. It shoots the most awesome video, she raves at the dinner table, even in low light. You should see the amazing footage I took of a bonfire at the lake last night. It's so sharp. I don't think mine's that good, Cooper says. It makes a lot of weird noises, beeps and clicks and honks. You're just not used to it yet, Captain Vega reassures him. Remember, it's top-of-the-line technology, real cutting edge. These must be notifications. Once you're familiar with all of its capabilities, the different sounds will make sense to you. They aren't normal phone sounds. Remember, that house we lived in where the wind used to whistle through our chimney? I can't remember which town it was. Anyway, that's what it makes. I think it was Dover, Mrs. Vega muses, but I'm sure you're imagining things, Coop. No phone sounds like the wind in a chimney. This one does, Cooper insists, and there's something wrong with the camera. All the pictures are blurry. It must be you, his sister informs him. My pictures are amazing. You're just messing up the focus. That doesn't explain the silver stuff. Where does that come from? She shrugs. What do you expect when you give a smartphone to a stupid person? Veronica, their mother puts in disapprovingly. Your brother's younger than you. He has to learn the operating system at his own pace. Look, Cooper explains. He places the phone at the center of the table and scrolls through his pictures. The view from his bedroom window, the family SUV, Melrose, the next-door neighbor's black lab lounging on the grass, each one marred by the same silvery blur. What's that, huh? Sun glare, Captain Vega concludes. Our engineers have the same problem in the military. Our targeting systems have to be able to tell the difference between what's real and what isn't. The phone emits a mournful whistle as the image of Melrose dissolves into static. Mrs. Vega frowns. That actually does remind me of the old chimney. Yes, Delaware, definitely. It has some kind of alert, Veronica decides. Check your settings to see if there's software updates available. The last time I did that, it shocked me, Cooper complains. That night while Captain Vega spent 3 hours on the phone with tech support, Cooper sneaks into his sister's room and examines her GX4000. She's right. The thing works like a charm. It doesn't beep or chime or honk unless there's a message coming in. The pictures post vivid colors, sharp detail, and most of these are of Chad, who looks like an older, more muscled clone of Brock. The same fair skin, thick neck, and concrete flat top hair. Finally, Captain Vega finishes with tech support. We did a full diagnostic, he tells Cooper, handing back the device. Everything checks out. Later, Cooper lies awake in bed, tossing and turning, while the GX4000 sits on the nightstand, chirping and whistling. It sounds like RTD2 in an echo chamber, or on the edge of the Grand Canyon. There's an angry pounding on the wall. Veronica's voice comes from the next room. Quit playing with your phone. Some of us are trying to sleep. I'm not playing with it, Cooper calls back. I'm not even touching it. It's doing all of it on its own. Put it on silent, she growls through the wall. Better still, or shut it down. Fine. Cooper holds the power button. The home screen hangs on a lot longer than it should as the grid of the app flickers and the icon begins to spin. That's new. He watches as the apps dissolve into snow. It's a clockwise swirl that reminds him of a flushing toilet. The multicolored particles begin to collect in the vortex where the drain would be, but instead of being swallowed up, the points of light gather in the center of the screen, forming a shape that ripples and undulates. It continues to grow of a spreading amoeba. No, wait, that's no amoeba. A head? 2 arms? 2 legs? A person? And then the monitor goes black. The GX4000's finally off. It vibrates intermittently all night before powering up again all on its own before dawn. That morning, Cooper practically sleepwalks to school. Just about the only thing keeping him awake is the phone in his back pocket, buzzing and chiming. He barely slept, thanks to that GX4000. Even when the thing was still, he was wound up as tight as a drum, waiting for the next explosion to send it vibrating across the nightstand. It was that water torture that drives you insane, waiting for the next drop. Hi, Cooper. He's struggling along, his eyes half focused, so when he spots Jolie, he thinks he's hallucinating. She's bobbing up and down like she's on a trampoline. In amazement, he realizes she's riding a pogo stick, hopping along the sidewalk in the direction of Stratford Middle. She comes alongside him, bouncing in place. Great way to travel, huh? Good exercise, too. She isn't even breathing hard. I guess you're really into physical fitness, he offers. The effort of maintaining eye contact is making him seasick. My 2 careers, remember? Actress and astronaut. You have to be in shape for both. You're trying out for the play, right? Play? Why is he always so clueless around her? Yeah, Romeo and Juliet. The 7th grade does a Shakespeare play every year. Part of the whole Stratford thing. Personally, I'd rather do a musical, like Annie or Phantom of the Opera. But the Wolf pays for the sets and costumes, so it's Shakespeare 24/7. Anyway, it has to be better than what last year's 7th graders got. People around here still call it Macbeth. Yeah, that must have been a downer, Cooper agrees. She hops off the pogo stick and holds it out to him. Want to try? Cooper knows he shouldn't. He's too tired and, let's face it, not the most coordinated kid in the world. But there's something about Jolie that makes him want to please her, to share her interests, and as unstable as the pogo stick looks, it has to be safer than other hobbies, like scuba diving with sharks. If she invites him to join her on that, he's definitely going to have to say no. Gingerly, he accepts the sticks and climbs onto the footbar, moving very tentatively, testing its balance. It's easy, right? She prompts. Right, easy. It's not easy at all. The bouncing part isn't that bad. It's the not falling part that's just about impossible. Every hop has him keeling over in one direction or another, hanging on in his white-knuckled terror. Hey, booms a deep voice. Check out Whatshisface. Cooper twirls around in time to see Brock and a couple of his soccer friends pointing and laughing. The spring end comes down in a crack in the sidewalk, and the pogo stick is launched like a missile. With a cry of shock, Cooper is tossed into the hedge. The last thing he sees before hitting the scratchy branches is his phone flying out of his pocket. The screen of the GX4000 lights up in midair, and when it strikes the pavement, the click of the camera sounds. Cooper struggles out of the bushes to behold an amazing sight. Rising from his phone is a silver cloud, luminous and transparent. He's thunderstruck. The camera isn't broken at all. The reason his pictures are marred by a silvery shimmer is that the silvery shimmer is real. Did you see that, he blurts? See it. I wish I had it on video. Greatest wipeout ever. 9.5, Aiden adds. You only lost marks because you didn't split your head open. No, I mean... Cooper points to the glittering shape over the phone and realizes it's no longer there. Jolie's rescuing her pogo stick from the tangle of the hedge, and Brock and his friends are high-fiving in honor of Cooper's performance. No one else noticed the fleeting image. Jolie holds out the pogo stick. Want to get right back on the horse? That's okay, Cooper told her. I should probably run home and wash out some of these cuts before school. You know, maybe get some Band-Aids? Good idea, Brock approves. No sense bleeding all over everybody. You can walk with us, Jolie, or bounce, or whatever you do on that thing. If you guys think you can keep up, Jolie gets back on the pogo stick and springs off in the direction of school. By the time she gets up to speed, Brock and company have to run to keep pace with her. Cooper barely notices their departure, or the pain of the many scratches all over his body. The memory of the shimmering form of the fallen GX4000 stays with him. No way is this a buggy technology. This is something he can see. What is it? A cloud? Sure, but a cloud of what? He allows the image to reform in his mind, and the problem with clouds is that if you stare at them long enough, all sorts of things begin to appear. It comes more from your imagination than anything that's actually there. Yet, the more he visualizes the glistening shape, the more he realizes he's seen it before. It was on the GX4000 screen when he tried to shut it off last night. Formed by the swirling particles right before the monitor finally went dark. A head, arms, legs, a body, a person.